Derek White. Knicks down 83-81. A minute left in the third. Same score. Brunson. Another jumper over White. Now it's the corner for O.J. Anunoby. Celtics scored 23 points in the third. Brunson himself scored or assisted on 25. Knicks up 3. Now 6 minutes left in the fourth. Celtics down by 3. Tatum, my goodness, was he good in this game.
Double dribble.
He had 42 points. The game is tied. Next position. It is the Knicks untying it. Anunoby knocks it down. Knicks by 3. 4 minutes to play. Knicks lead is 3. Brunson. Crossing over Horford. Brunson had 39. Knicks up 5. Next possession. Mikal Bridges into the painted area. Knicks by 7. Then out of a timeout. Here's the moment. Celtics possession. Jaylen Brown, we got a loose ball. Pay no attention to Anunoby and the slam dunk. That's not the important part of the story. Knicks up 9, but it's Jason Tatum goes down. UD, what do we see in his leg?
I mean, as soon as he goes for the ball, you see that flex area gets overextended, and I think right now that looks really bad for Jason Tatum, and I hope he's okay.
Everybody is, kind of more concerned with that.
What he means to us, what he means to Boston, it's just very tough for us, and more importantly, it's just really tough for him right now. So, as a group. We just have to, rally together because obviously we've lost our leader and the guy that gets us going.
Okay, so we have so many different pieces of this story to unpack, and let's start with Tatum. We will get into the series and all the rest of that. But it begins with this extraordinary player having by far his best game of the series, single-handedly keeping his team in it, and then we see the injury. When you see it, what's the first thing that went through your mind?
My heart just dropped. I mean, 29 in the third with no free throws. I mean, he's cooking with no grease. Finished the game with 42 points. And immediately when I saw it, I said, this series is over for the Boston Celtics. That's where I went with it, after my heart dropped.
There are so many ramifications to what appears to be a serious injury to Tatum. I want to make it clear, there has been no official diagnosis. We are all assuming based on what we saw. But certainly, if it is what it appears to be, and there'll be an MRI today, the ramifications of this are extraordinary, and they extend well beyond the series. Alan, what was your take? You were there, you saw it, you felt the energy in the building. What do we say about the Tatum injury?
Yeah, it was in that point, remember, there was just 3 minutes to go. The Knicks had taken a 9-point lead off that steal by Anunoby, and anyone that thought, okay, that's the dagger, the game's over, you're crazy. Because we just saw it in the highlight. Jason Tatum was part of a 12-0 run in 90 seconds at the end of the first quarter. He hit 3 of the 4 threes. So he could detonate. He was detonating in this game. It was
efficient last night. He was ridiculously good efficient last night. He was ridiculously good. And the big picture here, again, we're talking about this as though we know what the injury is. I feel a need to keep repeating, it is not official. There's been no diagnosis. They haven't had the MRI. But we've seen this particular injury so many times of late. We're all now all too familiar with the tests that they do, right, when you see it, when they can't do anything with the back of that leg. We saw it with Aaron Rodgers on a football field not long ago, and here it is with Jason Tatum.
Damian Lillard, same thing.
And so it does feel like this series, if Jason Tatum is not able to continue, Game 5 is tomorrow night in Boston, it does feel like a series that I will admit I thought swung completely in Boston's direction in Game 3, has now swung perhaps permanently in the direction of the Knicks.
Right, and then, you know, when you'll look at where the championship window is now for this team, because if it is an injury that we at least think it might be, that's a year.
Yes.
And so after that now, you're talking about waiting a whole year to get a star back, and then what do the Celtics do knowing where their payroll is, where their tax situation is, ownership and all that other stuff is. You wonder, a team that they assembled that last year won a championship and a lot of people thought could win a couple, you know, that moment could have not just ended a game and a series, but did it end a championship window?
It's just crazy how you can go from championship contender automatically to rebuild roster. Right, like Al Horford, 34 years old, Drew Holiday, you know, older players. Like, what do you do to revamp that while Jason Tatum recovers?
Yeah,
the oldest rosters in the playoffs.
The ramifications of this are extraordinary in so many different ways. For whatever it's, well, let's not even do that. Let's not talk about the Celtic future. Let's talk about this moment. You're on that team now. You're a Boston Celtic, and you have seen Jason Tatum go down. And let's just presume he's not getting up. Certainly, at least not in time for Game 5. What are you saying to your teammates about where this series is coming home down 3-1?
I look around that locker room and I tell the guys we have enough. We take it one game at a time. We have enough to get one game at home in front of our home crowd. And that's all we worry about. We don't worry about anything else but taking care of that one game. We have championship DNA. We have coaches. We have leadership. We have everything we need to get one game alone. And if I told my team we go home and all we need is one game, I got to believe that everybody in that locker room feels like we can get one game no matter who is out.
And, UD, there's a great commercial out that Jason Tatum is Superman. Okay, it's time for the Batman.
Hey,
like, it's time to get dark and gritty.
Say it again.
Right? It's time for Batman. Jaylen Brown, Batman, dark and gritty. Time to do all those things and take it one game at a time.
And also keep in mind, the Celtics haven't won a home game in this series yet.
Right.
That is also a little bit of pride on the line for them to make sure, if we're going down, we're not going to have it happen at home. So what you saw in Game 3 was a desperate Celtics team. The Knicks have to expect to see the same thing in Game 5 in Boston, in a raucous atmosphere of a team that does not want to just give up and lay down. They're not going to do that. And so that Game 5 is going to be an epic watch.
Can I just do this for 1 second? Bravo to New York. Yeah. Just, I know we're talking about Jason Tatum. I know we're talking about the Celtics, but just wow. Like, bravo to New York. Actually, their defensive strategy worked. Like, they were in drop coverage last game, right? They switched this game, and they baited the Celtics into taking a lot of threes. And Jason Tatum was the only one in rhythm. Nobody else was in rhythm. Nobody else. It was a great game plan.
There was rhythm in that first quarter, because that first quarter looked like
Derek White.
That looked like the same script as all the other games.
You got to be patient with it.
The Knicks went in to go, well, we got to get off to a good start. Next thing you know, they're down 10.
Like, they got off to a great start. It's a better start than the first 3 games.
But the difference is that they showed more resiliency. They did not let it affect them. Their early misses, they kept playing hard. They actually had a lead, and then Tatum went crazy into that first quarter. But from the second quarter on, the Knicks outscored them by 19 points the rest of the way.
The difference was that we'd been saying it all along. We haven't seen vintage Jalen Brunson carrying his team in this series. He's had huge fourth quarters in the first 2 games. Last night, and we showed you in the highlight what he did in the third quarter, we scored 18 points in the third. Jalen Brunson had one of, if the Knicks go, look, it's so premature at this point, it's ridiculous. They haven't even won this series yet, and they will face a very tough Indiana team, we would assume, next, that knocked them out a year ago. But if the Knicks should